Welcome to another informative session of the New England Job Show. Our guest today is Certified Career Coach Arleen Bradley. Arleen?
Now we're going to talk about questions, types of questions, illegal questions. Why are they asking that, and what you should ask? Types of questions. Generally, there are two types: a functional question or a behavioral question. A functional question is, do you know SQL Server? The answer is either yes or no. Do you know this? How do you do that? Those are usually answers that are functional, and it's what you've done in the past or what you hope to do in the future. The behavioral questions, they want to know how you have handled something or would handle something. This is where your SMART stories are going to come in. A SMART story is, some people call it PARS, problem, action, result. I call it SMART. SMART is S for the situation and more. What was going on? What was the situation? What were they trying to achieve? Action. Your action. It doesn't. If you were in a team, they don't want to know what the team did. They want to know what you did. And then the results, your results team, and then the tie-in. Maybe what you learned is that this was not going to work, that the proposed project change, it wasn't going to work. Or maybe the situation was resolved. You made more money, it cost you less money, whatever it was. What was the tie-in? What did you learn about the process, working with the team, anything that you learned from this? Because based on what you've done in the past, they can sort of predict what you'll do in the future. And that's what they're going for. What you should ask. And let me tell you, you definitely should ask. Let me go back to illegal questions. The illegal questions are concerning your age. Let them know that you meet the minimum age for the hours and working conditions. They don't have to know how old you are. Citizenship. You are able to prove that you are employment eligible at this time. That's all they have to know.
So if they ask your birth date, then that's illegal?
They cannot ask your birth date. They cannot. What year did you graduate from high school? Can't ask that.
I think until they offer you a job and you accept it, then they can ask you that. But they can't do it because what they're trying to do is prejudge your age to see if it's worth investing time in you at whatever age you're at. Because they're going to say, well, why should we spend all this time and money for somebody who's going to retire in 5 years?
Right.
So they're just trying to pre-qualify you.
However, I have heard that online job applications can ask some of those questions.
I don't think so.
Don't answer.
If they are, they can't.
Yeah,
But I
one
think
of
there
them
would
said-
be a problem. You won't be able to submit it. It'll bounce back saying you didn't answer all the questions.
And I'm finding a lot of the job applications are only being accepted online
Oh,
for
yes.
some of my industry.
Yes. Your industry and a lot of others. Many others.
You have to answer it then if it has.
Criminal record. All you have to answer is whether or not you've been convicted of a crime. They don't have to know if you served jail time. They don't know if you've been arrested, but obviously you have been. That's all they have to know. Do you have disability issues or health issues? You only have to tell them that you are able to perform the specific duties of the job. That's all you have to tell them. Family, they want to know, do you have kids at home that are going to be calling you every 10 minutes? Are they going to get sick that you have to stay out? Do they have school vacations? This is what they're trying to find out. All you have to let them know is you are able to meet the attendance requirements of the job. Nothing about kids, how many kids, nothing like that. Marital status, the only time that's going to be appropriate is when they hire you and you fill out your W-4 form. The W-4? W-4, W-2 for your taxes.
For your wedding ring? Or your mother's rings?
Yep. Military. They only know. They only need to know how military experience relates to the needs of this position. They don't need to know if you were discharged honorably, dishonorably, medically. It's not important. National origin. Nope. As long as you have the correct papers and you're eligible, they don't need to know your national origin. They may ask if you can speak, write, or read different languages. But there again, you could have learned it anywhere. Your political party affiliations, not important. Race, nothing important at all. Religion, not important. You're able to work the required hours. Residential status, do you live at home? Do you rent? Do you own? Not important. Not important. If you are asked these questions, there's three things you can do. You can ask how it relates to the job. You can answer the question directly, or just kind of answer around the illegal part, like with the answers I gave you. Or you could refuse to answer. And then you may, that was 4. You may want to point out to them that it's an illegal question. Some places I've read, you can file suit, but do you really want to file suit? Because if you file suit, that's, you just knocked yourself out of the running. And do you want to work for a company that asks illegal questions? Why are they asking that? The weird and wacky ones, such as how many times does the hands on the clock cross themselves each day? Who cares? Really? They want to know how you think. They want to know how are you going to go about answering that question? What's your thought process? There are some, they want to know how creative you are. They want to know if you're too creative.
With them asking you illegal questions, I just recently read somewhere that a lot of people doing interviews these days, or all days, have not really been expertly trained in giving interviews. So
Yes.
they don't even know when they're asking you legal questions. So I would kind of favor like giving a roundabout answer that doesn't give an answer, because we shouldn't be asking anyway. And it's like, well, I'm just not really trained at interviewing. So why make a big
But
issue?
that should be a red flag in your mind, thinking, why are they asking this?
Yeah.
And you want to weigh that if they offer you the position.
Yeah.
They also want to see, can you think on your feet? Do you need time to answer these questions? Can you come up with something reasonable in a short amount of time? There's all different reasons why they're asking. So take that into consideration when you answer. And don't be afraid to pause a few seconds, a minute or two even, to come up with an answer.
Don't make a painful face.
Exactly. Don't let them see you sweat. Isn't that the commercial? Never let them see you
Just
sweat.
like the commercial in the movie in Airplane when the guy's landing, the old Airplane, the original, and he's got sweat coming down his head, pouring down. Don't let him see that, right?
Right, exactly. So what are they asking? Why are they asking you all these questions? They want to know, ultimately, can you do the job? Do you want the job? Will you fit in? Do you have a reasonable sense of humor? How do you go about planning? How do you go about setting goals? And are you consistent? What you should ask. Definitely ask questions. If you say you have no questions for them, then you just said, then we don't want you. You want to be prepared to ask questions to show that you're interested, that you've researched the company, and you know what you're talking about. Again, there are many websites that offer all these questions, and what I recommend that you do, you go ahead, look at these questions, just practice answering them randomly. You don't have to memorize them, just kind of get a sense of how you would answer them.
Arleen Bradley has an enthusiasm for individuals and their professional transformations. She has founded 2 networking groups that have served 275 job searchers, of whom 250 are now employed. She is certified as a job search strategist, as a career management coach, and as a job loss recovery coach. She is a Careerism-approved career expert. As a holistic coach, she is just as concerned about the job searcher as she is about the job search. She operates a private coaching practice in Lawrence, Massachusetts. Watch our website, nejs.org, for the next informative presentation of the New England Job Show.